I'll leave the new order here. You know me well. I love that ingredient. Chef. Very well, chef.
It's my first house in 32 years old. Absolutely. Good job, brother. How long have you still on?
I'll do my best, chef.
Fine. How's Lawson? How's Lawson?
Baseball is back. Catch the action live. A variety of networks. Riot Brigade.
I'll do my best, chef.
dope.
That's my specialty. You're going to love it. I don't have anything to do, Chef. Anyone need a hand? I love cooking that, Chef. Right away, Chef.
Right away, chef. Chef.
Chef. Looking forward to preparing that, chef. Working with that ingredient is pure joy.
Working with that ingredient is so fun.
I don't understand why it's leaving from the A plus down to a B.
I'll take it to the table.
What's up, Jesse? Give out. Sheila's wore out. She's gonna
I'm
hung
here,
over.
chef. Make use of me.
Make use of you. Mussels and fries. We're clear.
Thanks, chef.
For some reason, this is not right. Four people. We have a big one here. You look like that. He's level 14 now too, that's what's up. I'm sitting pretty, sitting pretty. Everything's washed, we got extra food ready to go. Here we go. Anybody eating these?
New order.
I'm gonna let her do the risotto. She hasn't done risotto yet, yeah?
Yes, chef.
You know I love prepping fish.
Well, let's do it, man. Oh. Why did I sit the wrong fucking thing up there? Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. My shrimp out of water. Service is almost over. And we smashed it. This can go. We don't need any more of this. Put this all away. She's making the risotto. And wrap this back up. He's making the fries.
Very well, Chef.
Oh, this fries. Oh. That'll pass. A B, man. Yeah. We don't do B's. Next time I'll know better and let you make this. You're not making that no more. A little more A production around here. Yeah, I know.
Do you need my help for anything?
No, just get out. I'm trying to see me. Did she finish it? Just need one risotto, lady. And the ITE. Alright, there we go. Nice. Time fresh. It's ridiculous how fast it is now. They look wore the fuck out. But we got it done. I don't know how we hung on to that with that dude serving that B grade mussels. I don't know if it's like that. Can we upgrade it or something? I'll be recommending this place for all my friends. A wonderful experience. A wonderful experience every time. You actually Chef and the whole team are honey.
This older guy, he was not having any of it. You think this is God? You can see the exact moment his false confidence left his body and he became this big. So this young chunk was trying to actually either woods. If you've been getting scam texts, hearing the amount of money that Grand Theft Auto has generated versus any other like
the quality of the dish is still
money as
surprising.
Grand Theft Auto generated. That has got to be one of the most owners of bars. That maybe it's there she go, acting crazy again. Go ahead. Get the ball stuck before that. Like, hold on. Okay. Let me take this pressure on my shot. Go ahead. Or in this case, Thomas. In this case, this. Skibbity. How was the party last night? It was all skibbity though. No, that's not. That can't be. That's it. It's not that. You sound like an old guy going, "Hey, young kid."
Stealing is phantom tax.
Although I come here often, the quality of the dish is still surprising. Loved a great meal from start to finish.
Skibbity.
What are you doing at 20 years old? That Drake is always missed his life with Drake's skis did something. I thought today, I'll never forget. And I like Drake. So I'm telling you, Steve Bugs, I don't know what's real. And just buy everything ghostwriter. I need to just like that. People not what they're directly talking about, right? With a verse, like you said.
She just got back from Thailand training for a flight that she was supposed to fly today, 20 at the airport. She was a passenger, and everybody else in the accident lived except for her. And her mom went through her journal at the end of every entry. She said, Dana wanted to know my name. And it was just like, yeah, I'm not good with this kind of stuff. That girl.
Sick of boring, censored social media? Discover a...
Do you remember the guy who used to run bum fights? He came on Dr. Phil. And
The whole world knows about Rob Scott. He posted it. I mean, I don't know. Other guys are so dumb. It's next level, unbelievable.
This is your first lunch of the season.
Are they
FanDuel, a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket for you to
Oh, no. I take the Don't start that shit, Chad.
Is on. September seemed like 11 times earlier, dude. Like literally the entire morning was this. This was my entire goddamn morning, bro. I was right there. They're gonna show me my studio in a second. Okay? Like, did you see that man? I was right on top of them. Okay? This guy here, what happened to you at the DNC? We got kicked out. Did I actually get kicked out? No, I didn't get kicked out of the. I didn't get kicked out of the. I didn't get kicked out of the convention. I just got kicked out of the studio space that they had given me. And they did it in like a very weird way too. They did it literally during an interview that I was conducting with the New York Times about creators for novels, which makes it like extra crazy because it literally like that is the story and so I don't know if the guy was right about it or not, but like ultimately it was like a very weird thing that happened overall because like they had told me originally that NBC said there because of the receivers couldn't get the NC security area that the noise loud. Yeah, it's Beyonce, bro. It's probably Taylor Swift, maybe, I don't know. But like the thing that's like crazy about it is that you know, they told me that I was fine. Like they told me that I was fine, like that I had things they allowed for me to start late. And it turns out the not the ceremony is made out of nowhere. They one instructor working on a singing. The Democratic Party has two kinds of people in it. Those who think they should be a positive speaker and those who think they should give the time to Taylor Swift. I mean, it's like that is true. So I'm super probably had to kick out to get a box to get to watch Taylor Swift. I don't know how the box situation works. They guarantee you the space will hold in and kick you out of it. It's good. Yeah. But like also the other side of the story is that like honestly the other side of the story ultimately is that like I was never supposed to be at the NC, you know what I mean? So I'll take all the marks that they gave me and all of the I will take like every aspect that I'll take all of the access that I got. You know, maybe it was so big that we've done it earlier now. That's so good. You did great the whole time. Jamie here, you got a shut down the bar. The microphones can't get in. They can't even get kicked out of the space. It's why the PAL delegates can't get into. I've never experienced this in my life. It's full security in the United States. Regardless of not being guaranteed creators in theory if they get to use the restroom. Yeah, so that does make sense. That's literally the reason why I left. Because Ilhan Omar did not exit. So that made it so that I was like, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to talk to them. You understand? Like that it is. Like I'm sure that is part of the reason why I got clipped. I'm sure that is part of the reason why I got clipped. Okay, definitely. It's still whack because you know we got the anti successful. But that's why I left. The reason why I left is because I knew that it's chaotic and I knew that chaos and that I knew that I was not going to be able to see this security. No, I know. Michael Schur got the interview before I ever walked in the week. He's also like waiting in the I was gonna have to sit space. Turbulence are active, being turned away now. Show press area clear capacity. Just on time to see folks get turned away. Yo, it's brutal casual like pro-Palestine just accidentally happens to be getting clapped in the DNC. I know that they're not doing it on purpose, but it is funny that like anyone who has criticized the DNC on the Palestine front is like, hey, my face sorry. You just can't be in this location. How is that? I don't even think it's on purpose. I don't think it's on purpose. I think it actually is like, look, this Kellyanne Conway got let through a staff door. Well, I guess we don't have that kind of grid, dude. I'm here at the Valley. The Democratic Party is Kellyanne Conway. Jesus Christ. This is going to, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something right now. It's going to piss off the media so goddamn much. If you think like the New York Times fact check stuff was crazy the other day when they were like, Donald Trump's side is actually a big aid to the bank. You know, fact check. Donald Trump's side is actually right? Anyway, my point is, they're going to be so much more aggressive in terms of how they're operating. And lately, commentators on in front of the DNC candidates that I had. They were very nice. I do think it's true that those kind of displays on the DNC are more than everyone. They've done that with any mainstream media possibly before this speech. No, they would not. But remember, the mainstream media pays for those slots. Like they have to pay for it. So it's slow. I mean, like that's what the New York Times guy was saying. I would never pay for that. And I think they were taking everyone out of those for another permanent press spot. Yeah, I'm sure they do it. You know, it just sucks. Especially because there was literally another space that I could go to, but they were just like, no, you can't go. New York Times guy was trying to tell you that this event was as big as the show got out all the way. No, and I think that's the reason why they got like the shit problem. Maybe I don't know. That's what he was trying to say. Look, it worked out. Why did they take your credentials? They didn't. I have them still here. They didn't take my DNC credentials. They took my credentials to the floor. To that floor specific. Right after I said, oh well, they didn't take our credentials. Got a bit of strap on.
Oh no. What happened? What's going on? No, I thought it was by the book. Is it their book? What book? Their book. Yeah, that'd be their book, right? It's by the book. It's by their book. What's going on in Iowa? Kirk is just
yeah. Yes, on all accounts. I mean, I tweeted it is a daggone witch hunt. I don't like it. It's bullshit. So basically, you know, what happened was when Cade McNamara transferred from Michigan to Iowa. He committed to Iowa like 3 days after he transferred, so I think they're saying, hey, there's some improprieties in how you guys contacted this guy, how you went about doing it. You know, someone doesn't just decide to go to Iowa 3 days after they transfer, unless you play in the Big Ten, you know what brand of football Iowa plays, and obviously you will. But yeah, exactly. And also, this happened 2 years ago. Why the hell are we suspending Kirk now? I mean, there's got to be some sort of statute of limitations on this bullshit.
Oh, so if you cheat, you should be able to get it.
But if cheat, I mean, it'd be one thing if you know.
It's cheating. Yeah, Cade McNamara was wanted everything. But
oh yeah, that is not true, and you know it.
Cade McNamara said, you know what? I'm going to reach out to me first before I was even close to transfer. We got something for you. Is that what they're saying happened?
I mean, essentially, you know, it'd be one thing if Dylan Gabriel transferred to Iowa, you know, instead of going to Oregon from Oklahoma. I mean, shit, you've seen the footage of Cade McNamara so far this spring.
Joining us now, maybe probably has a little bit more intel on the entire situation. The authority of college football, Pete Fan.
Yeah.
But Kirk was cheating. This is how it happened. Why is he suspended again? He seems pretty petty.
is your stance on this, Pete? What do we need to know about it?
So my sources have told me that Ty had an elaborate scheme with corn syrup that he was selling on the black market, pumped like cash to the hives. Actually, it was just kind of run-of-the-mill tampering. I think we're going to skip with these as the season heats up here. Look, everyone tampers, and those who get caught, or get caught, they clearly have gotten caught enough to, I think, where they saw the caliber of the opponent in the opener and said, you know what, we'll fall on the sword here, take the game suspension, and then move on to Big Ten play. So I know all of your Illinois State fan audience might be offended by that, but that seems to be what happened here. They were where they exactly.
Oh, versus, actually, Illinois State, not student, but he lived on campus. He told people he was a student. Never enrolled, never been to those classes. But he got a chance to do the college, just, not actually doing anything. Yeah, he got to figure it out. He's an interesting guy. He's in Ireland right now as well. And J.R. Mahans, I think you should stop by, maybe buy him. Pine, you said that this is kind of run-of-the-mill tampering. It's going to happen to a lot of people. We should be expecting to hear that relatively soon because it's from 2 years ago. So is this all just going to kind of unroll and that hopefully NCAA is excited to move past this as more rules are kind of set? Is that kind of the framework here we need to think about it?
Yeah, so Alex Atkins, the offensive coordinator of Florida State, is suspended for the first 3 games. And we're seeing a trend in State, Matt, that they don't have a lot of arrows left in their quiver for punishment. They used to say, okay, you can't take official visits, you would limit things in recruiting, but all that stuff can get paid for now in this free market NIL era. So the game suspension is literally one of the few things they actually have left as a punishment. So I'm not going to tell you that we're going to see like a flurry, but I would think an assistant coach here and there who's been jammed up on tampering stuff. We'll see some suspensions here as with the season really kicking off with a full slate of games in. What is it now, 8-9 days? So I just think sort of cost doing business at some places here, and we'll see some consequences.
Okay, nobody's going to remember this, Smoker. No, in the grand scheme of things, nobody's going to remember this. We're going to move on. Let the Birds come out and make a massive upset because Kirk couldn't get them all riled up. Todd, do you have any counter to anything you just said? Would you like to clear the air before we move to the next subject? Because there's so many holes in the camera for me right now in Dublin.
Sure. I would just like to say, Pete, first of all, the whole foreign share thing, that's a little bit of low blow, so I don't appreciate that. I'm very front-facing when it comes to putting money out there for the Iowa program. But in terms of the long-term issue here, Pete, do you see this kind of Iowa? Obviously maybe not going back to the transfer portal because Kirk doesn't want to get pee-pee whacked again and miss a game or two. Because everyone knows Kirk's an upstanding citizen. He's one of the true good guys in college football. Listen, and I don't know, are they going to come at this guy for being too much of a baller, maybe taking private jets for different recruiting visits? That's what I'm concerned about, Pete, does this basically, I don't know, does it hamstring Kirk Ferentz recruiting in the portal in the future? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I don't believe Ty it will hamstring Kirk for recruiting. I think this will be a blip on a long, distinguished career, and he will be back to recruiting a preponderance of linebackers and defensive tackles. As we have no linemen and
Jeez, preponderance for you, I fucking murdered Charlie Baker for a long, long time in the NCAA. He did one speech, and I think the future is going to be very, very bright in the NCAA. But this Iowa Hawkeye thing, this feels like petty and dumb to do the Kirk Ferentz suspension for one game for something that happened like 2 years ago. And one of the things that Charlie Baker told us in that speech that I loved that he was giving to us, it was like, he basically said, we're done doing the petty stuff. Like, I'm sick of us having to deal with the petty stuff. Whenever this injunction hits, we're going to be able to move forward and all this other stuff that kind of makes us look bad and looks like we're over punishing for things. And in this instance, this morning, it's like this is from 2 years ago with a player that hasn't really done anything. And we assume everybody has been doing the exact same thing. They just so happen to be the ones that got caught up in this conversation. Like,
what exactly was the violation?
He was tampering, allegedly, with Gabe McNamara before he hit the transfer portal. So they investigated because why in the hell would anybody say?
I heard AJ say everybody, most guys, not everybody, there's a lot of guys sitting in the portal and nowhere to go, but most guys
Yeah, them or their parents or their agents, somebody's talking to Iowa as an example, and hey, you know, you guys got an opening there. I'd love to come in there and compete. Like, hey, just you got to enter the portal, and once you enter the portal, that happens all the time. I mean, that's the way. That's the maybe there's more to it.
Yeah,
maybe there's more to it. I don't know.
Yes,
Ty, do you know? Ty, is there more to this, or is that?
I don't think so, but Kirk, you would know more than a lot of people, like how revered Kirk Ferentz is in college football, how good of a guy he is, like truly is.
The best.
Yeah, not
The
a piece of shit. He is a great guy, but when I was reading this, like, and Pat said all the, like, these things about Charlie Baker and how the NCAA is trying to turn things around, do you think part of it, though, is that the NCAA kind of creates scandal? Because, like, last year with, like, the Michigan stuff, like, that crosses boundaries and gets people who aren't, you know, who couldn't care less about college football, like, they're at least kind of paying attention to it. Like, it gets into, like, the cultural landscape. Like, so I feel like while they can try to eliminate some of this stuff, like, at the end of the day, like, this kind of stuff has been going on in college football for so long, and I think that is part of what a lot of people who maybe aren't a huge fan of what happens on the field, like, that's why they like following college football, because there's always this type of shit on the fringes.
Yeah, I don't know about that they're intentionally trying to do that. I do think that they still have some archaic rules that Charlie talked to us about trying to eliminate. I don't know the specifics here. I don't know if Iowa is the one that, you know, whatever they did. I think it still kind of falls in that area of this is the way of the new world. You know, these guys that leave these schools. I mean, I talk to coaches that they're worried when the game is over and they go to shake hands, that the other assistant coaches are talking to the backup players on the team about, hey man, I got you. I'll hit you up after the season. You know, if you're not happy, we got, like, there are coaches currently in college football that say that happens. So how is that not tampering? It does. I mean, you know, the biggest issue to me, and then we can move on. I want to watch you and AJ do like a sumo wrestling thing there on the court, but I definitely don't understand. I still have a problem with the collectives. I still have a problem with, hey, let's all put $20 million into a pot, and let's go bribe high school players and pay them as much as we can to get them to, or let's go get a player from a smaller school, and he didn't want to stay at, let's just say, Bowling Green or Southern Miss. Let's go get him. He's an All-American. Let's go bribe him. Like that I don't get. I get C.J. Stroud being a superstar, name, image, and likeness. He can make a lot of money. Caleb Williams, superstar, make millions of dollars off name, image, and likeness. That's what the rule is intended for. But I wish they'd focus on these collectives and these guys bribing kids to come pay for their schools. That has to go in college sports.
So there was like a Mountaineer collective in West Virginia. They asked me if they could use, you know, my name, image, and likeness on the board of the entire thing for West Virginia. And I was like, what do I need to do? They're like, we might just have you reach out or whatever. We got a big donor that's going to do it and money that's going to do it. And then we're just trying to even a playing field with, you know, the big schools on being able to guide money. Now, I think they were doing it and have been doing it for players on the team, trying to manage the roster and keep people on the team. But I assume that there's been some recruiting that has happened with it all. And it's like, I think that's why this injunction that's supposed to be approved by a judge in Q1 gives like the actual salary cap. And people have been saying it's 20 million.
That's what you hear, yeah.
I think he said 20% of the school's revenue. I think it's what, it's 20 million is what everybody's saying. I think they're hoping that ends up becoming.
That'd be great. Wouldn't it be great if NIL still was there with the rev share? Like, the rev share has to happen. It's great. It makes a lot of sense. Do it. Let's just for now. Let's just say it's 20 million that you have now to basically look at your roster. The roster goes from 85 scholarships eventually that you know you can have up to 120 on your team. Now you're going to go from 85 scholarships to, you could go all the way up to 105, but you can't have a 106. So you're now going to have a ceiling on your roster of 105. With the ability to go up to 105 scholarships off of instead of 85, but you won't have the walk-ons if you go up to that number. The hope is with the rev share that the NIL will go back to being what it was intended to be. I can't imagine it, these schools that have been bribing kids, you're going to tell them, okay, you can't bribe the kids anymore. They're going to keep doing that, until there are actual consequences. But then there's a threat of litigation, and anytime anybody threatens to get sued, oh, whoops, okay, you're right, go do whatever you want to do. So I don't know how we're going to get there unless you get a collective bargaining agreement between this new entity, the world, with some kind of players, representation, whether it's a union, whatever it is, have some kind of CBA and agree on NIL, transfer portal, dates, times, whatever it is. Then I think you can make some sense and kind of get your arms around it, and then make consequences have to be severe when guys break the rules. And it's hard to do that right now because there's different rules from one state to the other, from one conference to the other. So it's hard to be consistent for the NCAA right now. And it's really hard to govern these states because everybody has their own rules when it comes to NIL.
Because this is my heritage. My family fought to save their farm under this flag. Who was working that farm? Everybody. Who was
working the phone. They were poor. You know how much a slave contract is? So why do you carry that flag? Because this is my...
It's a feeling of total freedom. Just like that, total fear. It can happen to me. It can happen to you. So let's learn the skills it takes to handle. Sign up for a class today.
Let's talk about one of the pivotal parts, though. I think this entire thing, you talk about being coached hard. Somebody that's been through a bunch. AJ has a question for you.
Nick, yeah, CJ Stroud obviously played unbelievable last year. You hear when people talk about quarterbacks going from year one to year two and these big jumps that they make. What have you done with CJ? What has he maybe done? Has he looked out to other people around? Because there's not a whole lot of people that have stepped in day one and played as well as he did for you guys. How is he going to make that jump from year one to year two?
Yeah, it's going to kind of go back to what I talked about a little bit earlier. It's going to take work, and it's going to get harder. Like anybody that is in the league year one and has some success, what you have to realize is what happened that previous year, in the end, doesn't have any bearing on that current year. But I'd say where he's probably improved the most, this is just leadership and ownership of the offense, of the team. He wants to be great. And going back to holding the people accountable, establishing the standard, I mean, it starts with the quarterback. And I think the big thing as well is just that position. I mean, you touch the ball in 99.9% of the plays, other than if you get in the Wildcat or something like that. But you have to be a good fiduciary to the team, take care of the football, make smart decisions, and sometimes do simple great. And I think sometimes it's hard for just quarterbacks in general to understand that concept. But mitigating risk is a part of your job, but also understanding there's a balance. You want to take some shots, you want to move the ball down the field, but you want to make a smart play. But, CJ's a great kid. He works really hard. He cares about winning. He cares about football. And I think his relationship with his teammates, not only on the offensive side of the ball, but the defensive side of the ball as well, has continued to grow. So it's going to take all of us. The quarterback is certainly an important position on the team, but he's just one part of the group here, and everybody just has to go out there and focus on the things that they do well. And then, we'll see where we are.